All right, this is part two on the total destruction of the west coast of North America. My name, as you can see there, is Joshua Taylor. I'm going to make this bigger now. And the Lord gave me this vision where I saw the west coast destroyed. I don't know the size of the quake, but I remember David Terrell, God's prophet to the world, the Lord told him there's going to be a 13 or a 14 in the Pacific, and it's going to bring total devastation. So we're going to go over to the first vision. If I can make this bigger. Okay, I'll leave it there. Vision 1. In the vision, I had returned to Texas to fellowship with the brethren I had previously become acquainted with. And for no reason, the Lord cut my vision short and opened up a door to return back to my own country. It was imperative to leave immediately. The next morning, I remember boarding the ferry to Port Angeles, just outside of Seattle, for Victoria, BC. I remember being very solemn, as if I had already knew beforehand what was to take place on this particular mission. The passage itself seemed to be in the cool of the year, where a light jacket had to be worn. There was no indication of snow being on the ground or in the air. In my spirit, it seemed to be 5 a.m. It was 5 a.m. I knew by the spirit it was exactly 5 a.m. when I was standing there. The sun had not yet come up on the above the horizon, and as to what season it was, it could have been early spring or late fall. And oh, okay, I was standing there, subconsciously, I was conscious of watching, looking west over the Pacific, watching the sun come up, but it didn't click, right? So subconsciously I knew it, but I didn't pick it up. And it wasn't until this past spring that the Lord gave me the timing of these visions. So these visions has to do when the sun comes up in the west, and this will be in the early part of the pole shift when the Earth is flipped, and where the rotation of the Earth begins to slow, then stop, and then you can actually get the actual trouble, right? Because when it stops, you're going to get all the water is going to slosh and come up from the equator, about 600 feet of water. And I remember boarding the ferry. I could see all the people on the back. There might have been 40, 50, maybe 60 people. And they didn't like me for some reason, and they went to the front part of the ferry. I don't know if it was something I ate or what, but I know what it was. It was the fear of the Lord. I was walking in the fear of the Lord, and what it does, the fear of the Lord will allow you to see your own sin. My dog is saying, "What are you doing? It's time for some num num." Yeah, in a minute, Max. I love my little Pookie, Emax. And anyway, that's what it was. I remember getting on there. It was still dark, but the people decided, well, the heck with it. They went ahead, right? They went to the front part of the ferry, and I was left there all alone. I don't think anybody else stayed in the back. So that's all it was. And I don't think I got into the introduction. May have to do the intro here. I don't think I got this part on there about the man of God. I don't think I wrote it down. Anyway, what happened when this vision happened? I've got about 3 minutes to be able to do it. That I met my wife in Canada, and we were busy helping people get ready, maybe preparing something to do with the West Coast and evacuation. Could be, part of the revival. I don't know, but anyway, got to the point where the whatever it was, it could carry its own, and then we went to took our honeymoon down to Banks, Texas, to take in uh, this move of God. And I remember it was in the tabernacle. It was not in the tent. David Terrell, he has some of the biggest tents in the world, and it surprised me. He said, "How come it wasn't in the tent?" And I remember there's a lot of people there. It was really actually packed. And we went in the lineup and we waited and waited. And when the time came, the man of God said, "Stay there." And I stayed on the podium. And he went in the back and he came out and he had a set of clothes. He had a set of his black shirt, black suit, pants, socks, shoes, all of that. And he said, "Take this, go in the back room and change, but don't leave your old clothes." And I remember coming out and we were having eye contact all this time. I knew things were happening in the spirit. I knew in my spirit that a change of garments was happening as far as getting ready for the journey, for the mission, but also it was a transfer. The father was transferring Brother Terrell's mantle, and there's a big fight right now. Who's going to wear his mantle, right? And anyway, that's what I seen, and he was aware of it, and I was aware of it. And the people in the audience, they were looking at this, and they really got jealous when he went and picked up one of his favorite staffs and placed it in my right hands. Then the word of the Lord came to him and says, "You have to go back to your own country." It was imperative. Couldn't even stay the end of the meeting. Had to go back. And so this would have to been maybe late Saturday or Sunday. I remember the meeting started on Friday. We were a day or two late, my wife and I. But anyway, she stayed behind. I had to leave. And I remember he gave instructions to one of his pastors to drive me to Dallas, and that's where I ended up in Port Angeles. Okay, and I remember he took up an offering, because I didn't have any money, and people, they were just jealous. And he just turned around and he said, "Shut your mouth." He literally got really angry. I never seen him angry like that. And he told him, "Shut your mouth. You don't know who's standing here." And then I was off, off to fly down from Dallas to Port Angeles. Okay, I'm going to come back in the next part on this. Joshua Taylor coming to you with this here. That's me. Total destruction of the west coast of North America. And this is soon, folks. Need to prepare.